If you feel maybe you're not sure,
In a bid to create a sustainable social structure in educational institutions that will help debunk social cultural misconceptions, encourage gender equality, promote positive masculinity, and raising empowered girls.
write your 10 years plan in your book.
The Lagos State Government, through its Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency (DSVA), inducted 200 secondary school students into the Kings and Queens Club on Thursday, November 3rd, 2022, in Lagos.
Resilience and tenacity.
The Executive Secretary, Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency, Titilola Vaivo Adeniji, represented by the Head of Community Engagement for DSVA, Damilare Adewusi, stated that the rationale behind the initiative is to tackle the menace of sexual and gender-based violence among students in the state.
It's about changing young people's perception to issues of sexual-based violence, promoting positive masculinity, and of course raising empowered girls. We are talking about sexual reproductive health and rights. We talk about femininity, we talk about masculinity, we talk about the laws that guide the issues surrounding sexual and gender-based violence. These are what we teach them in the course of the 6 weeks. So all what we have done is to change their perceptions to these issues, because we understand that if we catch them from the early stage, we can be able to change some of the narrative and the bad. And this is what we are glad that we have been able to achieve in the course of the 6 weeks.
Kings and Queens facilitators explained the need to curb the rate of domestic and sexual violence, adding that the program will focus on nurturing young minds.
The program is focused on nurturing young minds, helping them become better leaders of tomorrow, and as well making them aware of their sexuality, which is very, very important. You understand? So when you know about something, you can beat your chest and stand your ground. It is so much different from somebody who does not really understand something, and then when the adversity falls on the person, he or she might not know the ways to tackle such problem. But for these young ones, they have a bright future ahead of them.
Number one, we expect them to pay it forward because they have become ambassadors. So we may not necessarily come to their schools any longer to hold Queen's Club meetings, but they would stand in our place as facilitators and also pass down the knowledge that we've given to them. So we've taught them about sexual and gender-based violence. We've taught them about reproductive health, great tenacity, resilience. We've helped them to shatter some societal constructs, change their biases when it comes to things like femininity, masculinity. So all these things, we expect them to take that information, pass it forward to other students, and spread the good news that things need to change in our society if we want to live in a better society.
While commending the agency for organizing a 6-week training on sexual and gender-based violence, Aderonke Oyelakin assured the students continuity of their selfless service, good ambassadors and change agents.
It's a privilege, like I was telling them that you have been chosen amongst the other students. It's a privilege. So when you are a role model, the knowledge you have gained, I've told them, they should not keep it to themselves alone. It's of no use when you are only holding information. You should share it in the classroom, amongst your classmates, in your worship centers, in your churches, in your mosque, when you are in your neighborhood. Gather other young girls. Let your life teach others the way to go. If you used to be an angry person, and now they've seen a change being big that doesn't talk too much, that is always reading a book, that is neat, that is well dressed, that is polite, it's going to attract people to her. Then she can now tell them that this is where I learned it from, and I also want you to become better version of yourself. This is how you can become better and be a queen, because a real queen would dress well, show up not only for herself, and ensure that she makes sure that she's a positive role model for generations to come.
My advice for those who are not here is that they need to be a good ambassador in the society. They need to be a good representative of their community, local government, state, wherever they come from. They have to be a good ambassador.
Students expressed gratitude to DSVA for the knowledge they have received and assured them to be peer educators.
We have been taught by Mr. Damilare. He told us that we should always respect the consent of the female gender, and also we should use our strength to protect women and not to cause violence. I'm planning to impact other juniors in my school how to be positive and what I've learned during the course of the lesson to promote positive masculinity.
This knowledge, I'm going to help other girls outside my school and my school to be more aware of their reproductive health, to be able to distinguish between sexual-based violence and harassment, to be able to make them speak out with tenacious, to be able to make them be firm and confident as the women they are aspiring to be, and be able to make them mentors and role models of future leaders.
I'm not a perpetrator.
After taking the Pledge of Allegiance, the students were subsequently inducted into the club and awarded certificates as well as identity cards to validate their induction into the club.
Yay, congratulations.
The Kings and Queens Club constitute an alliance of trained young girls and boys in schools who will serve as peer educators and advocates of positive femininity and masculinity.
Queen's Club. Raising empowered girls.